Welcome to Surprise Insights, where we delve into the fascinating mysteries and bizarre facts that keep us up at night. Today's episode is all about 25 creepy coincidences that will freak you out. Each of these stories is stranger than fiction, but all are real events that defy explanation. From chilling accidents to uncanny predictions, these coincidences might just make you question everything. If you love exploring the strange and unusual, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and join our community of curious minds. 1. The Finnish twin tragedy. In a small Finnish town, two identical twin brothers lost their lives in a truly haunting accident in 2002. Both brothers, separated by only a few kilometers, were hit by trucks while riding their bicycles on the same road. Strangely, these tragic incidents occurred within 2 hours of each other, leaving both authorities and locals stunned. Even seasoned investigators were shaken by the rare and eerie timing. For the residents, it was a moment of disbelief that remains one of Finland's most puzzling tragedies. 2. Edgar Allan Poe's prophetic tale. In 1838, Edgar Allan Poe published the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, a novel in which shipwrecked sailors, stranded and starving, resort to cannibalism to survive. Decades later, in 1884, a real-life shipwreck mirrored Poe's story in a chilling way. The survivors were left to draw straws to decide who would be sacrificed, and the unfortunate man's name was Richard Parker, the exact name Poe had written years before. The similarity left literary scholars and maritime historians puzzled. Some call it an eerie coincidence, while others wonder if it was a glimpse into a dark, prophetic vision. 3. The Premonitory Chris Benoit Wiki Edit. In 2007, WWE wrestler Chris Benoit committed a crime that shocked the wrestling world and saddened fans everywhere. But what's eerie is that an anonymous editor on Wikipedia updated Benoit's page to say he would miss an event due to his wife's death, a full 14 hours before police found the bodies. This cryptic edit originated from an IP address in Stamford, Connecticut, home of WWE headquarters, and added a mysterious layer to an already tragic story. Many speculated whether the editor knew something ahead of time, or if it was merely a bizarre coincidence. This incident remains one of the strangest connections in modern internet history. 4. Flight 666 HL. Finnair operated a flight with an undeniably creepy number, Flight 666, destined for Helsinki, with the airport code HL. To add to the superstition, the final flight operated on October 13, 2017, a Friday the 13th, no less. Superstitious passengers nervously boarded the plane for the last Eerie flight to HL. The airline retired the number, but the date and details of its final journey still linger as a chilling coincidence for those who remember it. Even the most skeptical traveler found the number combination hard to ignore. 5. The Vanishing of Flight 19. The Bermuda Triangle has long been known as a mysterious location where ships and planes disappear under unexplained circumstances. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers, known collectively as Flight 19, set off on a training mission over this notorious area and vanished without a trace. Even more bizarrely, a rescue plane sent to search for them also disappeared. To this day, no wreckage or bodies have ever been found, despite numerous investigations. This event continues to fuel theories about the Bermuda Triangle's potential supernatural powers. 6. The Tree Bullet. In 1914, a man named Henry Zong narrowly escaped death when a bullet grazed his face and lodged itself in a nearby tree. Zong survived the close call, and the bullet remained in the tree for years, seemingly forgotten. 6 years later, he decided to clear the tree using dynamite, unaware that fate had more in store. The explosion dislodged the bullet, which struck and fatally wounded him, completing a bizarre twist of destiny. This twist of fate seemed almost too strange to believe, leaving locals and family in shock. 7. The Hoover Dam and the curious bookends of tragedy. The Hoover Dam construction, one of the most ambitious projects of the 20th century, witnessed an eerie beginning and end. On December 20, 1922, the first worker to perish was a man named J.G. Tierney. 14 years later, on the very same date, Tierney's son, Patrick Tierney, also lost his life while working on the dam. This father-son tragedy, occurring exactly on the same day years apart, casts a somber shadow over the dam's history. The coincidence has left many feeling that fate played a part in this remarkable construction. 8. The Lincoln and Kennedy assassination parallels. The assassinations of Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy are marked by uncanny parallels that seem almost orchestrated by destiny. Lincoln was elected president in 1860, Kennedy in 1960, a full century later. Both men were succeeded by vice presidents with the last name Johnson, and both assassins had 3 names. Even more curious, Lincoln was killed in Ford's Theater, while Kennedy was killed in a Ford car. These coincidences, widely noted, continue to spark intrigue as people attempt to explain the mysterious patterns between these 2 American tragedies. 9. Violet Jessop, survivor of Titanic and beyond. Violet Jessop was a ship stewardess who narrowly survived some of the most famous shipwrecks in history. She was on board the RMS Olympic when it collided with a British warship in 1911, and then on the ill-fated RMS Titanic, where she escaped in a lifeboat. As if these weren't enough, she was also on the Britannic when it struck a mine in 1916 and sank. Jessop's 3 near-death experiences at sea earned her the nickname Miss Unsinkable, and to this day, her life remains a testament to survival against improbable odds. 10. The Curse of James Dean's Car. James Dean's infamous Porsche Spider, nicknamed Little Bastard, seemed to carry a dark aura after his tragic death in it in 1955. The wreckage of his car was used in various racing events and workshops, but it brought misfortune to nearly everyone who encountered it. Parts of the car, when salvaged, caused accidents and injuries to other drivers, perpetuating the so-called curse. The eerie pattern of accidents and deaths associated with Little Bastard left many convinced that Dean's car was forever tainted by his tragic demise. 11. The 27 Club phenomenon. The so-called 27 Club refers to an uncanny number of influential musicians who all died at the age of 27. Members include Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse, each leaving a massive cultural impact before their lives were cut short. Fans and theorists alike have puzzled over this coincidence, speculating about everything from cosmic forces to the pressures of fame. The 27 Club continues to symbolize the enigmatic link between youth, fame, and tragedy in popular culture. 12. The strange case of Mark Twain's birth and death. Mark Twain, one of America's most beloved writers, had an extraordinary link to Halley's Comet. He was born in 1835, the year the comet passed close to Earth, and famously predicted he would go out with it as well. True to his word, Twain passed away in 1910, the very year Halley's Comet made its return. The writer's eerie prediction and its fulfillment have led many to view his life as intrinsically bound to this celestial event, making his death one of literature's most curious coincidences. 13. The double tragedy of Miss Unsinkable. In another tragic coincidence involving survival at sea, Titanic survivor Charles Juffin, the chief baker, miraculously survived the shipwreck by floating for hours in freezing water. Decades later, Juffin survived a second shipwreck, further establishing his nickname as a man who defied odds. His story has been immortalized as one of sheer resilience, and his survival continues to fascinate maritime historians. Juffin's story remains one of courage and uncanny luck in the face of disaster. 14. The deaths of Thomas Jefferson and John Adams on July 4th. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, 2 founding fathers of the United States, shared a long, complex friendship. As fate would have it, they both passed away on July 4th, 1826, exactly 50 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Their shared death date seems almost poetic, as if orchestrated to mark the anniversary of the nation's birth. This coincidence has been considered by many to be a symbol of the profound bond between these 2 monumental figures. 15. The coincidence of Enzo Ferrari and Mesut Ozil. In a bizarre twist, Enzo Ferrari, founder Ferrari, died in 1988, the same year that German soccer player Mesut Ozil was born. Upon close examination, fans noticed an uncanny resemblance between Ferrari and Ozil, with both sharing striking facial features. Although separated by generations and professions, the two men's likenesses have sparked conversations and theories on reincarnation. While it's likely just a coincidence, the resemblance has fascinated fans worldwide. 16. The mystery of the Titan and the Titanic. In 1898, author Morgan Robertson wrote a novella called Futility, which detailed the sinking of an unsinkable ship named the Titan. The fictional ship bore eerie similarities to the Titanic, which sank 14 years later under almost identical circumstances. Both ships hit an iceberg, sank in April, and lacked enough lifeboats for all passengers. The resemblance between Robertson's fiction and the real-life tragedy has mystified readers and historians, leading some to suggest he may have unwittingly predicted one of the world's most famous shipwrecks. 17. The lightning strike survivors of Lichtenberg. Walter Summerford, a Canadian soldier, seemed to attract lightning strikes in a way that defies logic. In his lifetime, he was struck by lightning not once, but 3 separate times, surviving each encounter. After his death, lightning struck his gravestone, as if to complete a fateful circle. This bizarre pattern of strikes has left those who knew his story in disbelief, wondering if there was a supernatural reason behind this deadly coincidence. Summerford's life remains a curious footnote in the strange world of lightning lore. 18. The Curse of the Otzi Iceman. The discovery of the 5,300-year-old mummified body, known as Otzi the Iceman, sparked excitement among archaeologists. However, within years of its discovery, several key individuals involved with Otzi's excavation and research met untimely deaths. From sudden illnesses to fatal accidents, these deaths fed rumors of a curse surrounding the ancient mummy. Today, Otzi's curse is an infamous story among researchers, with some fearing the consequences of studying this mysterious artifact. 19. The predictive power of The Simpsons. The long-running animated show The Simpsons has gained a reputation for predicting future events with eerie accuracy. From the election of Donald Trump to the discovery of the Higgs boson particle, the show's writers have made jokes that later materialized in reality. While some credit the predictions to coincidence or broad satire, others believe there's an almost mystical quality to the show's prescience. Whatever the reason, these predictions have cemented The Simpsons as more than just an animated comedy. 20. The Curse of Tutankhamun's Tomb. The discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 captivated the world, but soon after, a series of strange deaths befell those involved in the excavation. Lord Carnarvon, who funded the dig, was the first to die, succumbing to an infected mosquito bite within months of the tomb's opening. Many others connected to the discovery met with unexpected illnesses or accidents, fueling rumors of an ancient curse. Despite scientific explanations, the so-called Curse of the Pharaohs has persisted in popular culture, casting a mystical shadow over this legendary archaeological find. 21. The Mysterious Coincidence of Edgar Allan Poe's Novel. Edgar Allan Poe's 1838 novel, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, includes a disturbing story of shipwreck survivors resorting to cannibalism, with one character named Richard Parker sacrificed for survival. Decades later, in 1884, the real-life shipwreck of the Mignonette saw survivors also forced to cannibalism, and, in an uncanny twist, the victim was a young sailor named Richard Parker. This eerie parallel between Poe's fiction and reality has puzzled readers for generations, leaving some to wonder if Poe had an inexplicable insight into future events. 22. The Titanic's violin, a symbol of love and loss. When the Titanic sank, the ship's band famously played music to calm passengers, a noble gesture led by bandleader Wallace Hartley. Hartley's violin, a gift from his fiancée, was recovered and returned to her after the tragedy. The instrument, which survived the wreck against all odds, is now seen as a symbol of love and sacrifice. To this day, the violin's preservation defies expectations, reminding us of the human moments within the grand tragedy of the Titanic. 23. The Sad Fate of Robert Kennedy, and the number 13. Robert F. Kennedy's life was marked by an unusual series of events surrounding the number 13. He was assassinated on June 5th, but technically declared dead on June 6th, the 13th anniversary of his brother John F. Kennedy's death. His hotel room number that night was also 13. While some dismiss these details as mere coincidence, many find it hard to ignore the symbolic weight this number carried throughout the Kennedy family's tragic history. These connections have led some to view the number as a harbinger of misfortune in the Kennedy lineage. 24. The twin boys and the driver coincidence. In Bermuda, a young boy was tragically struck by a taxi while riding his moped, a heartbreaking incident in itself. Exactly 1 year later, his twin brother was riding the very same moped when he too was struck by the same taxi, driven by the same driver and carrying the same passenger. This improbable coincidence of events involving the twins has left locals shaken, as it seemed beyond the realm of simple probability. The incident remains a poignant tale of fate or eerie alignment, sparking conversations about destiny's role in our lives. 25. The uncanny life parallels of King Louis XVI and his royal family. King Louis XVI of France was plagued by a series of unsettling events tied to the date of January 21st. He was informed of his ascension to the throne on that day, and later, his execution was scheduled for January 21st, 1793. Even stranger, his wife, Marie Antoinette, and other members of his family experienced significant life events on that same date. Historians often wonder if this was merely a historical oddity, or if the royal family's lives were somehow bound to this particular day, casting a shadow over France's turbulent history. And there you have it, 25 spine-tingling coincidences that remind us of the strange, mysterious forces at work around us. Sometimes, reality truly is stranger than fiction. Whether you believe in fate, destiny, or sheer chance, these eerie moments challenge what we think we know about the world. If you found these stories fascinating, don't forget to like, comment, and share to help others explore these curious twists of fate. And remember to subscribe for more deep dives into the incredible, the unexpected, and the downright unbelievable. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.